In the 1970s, the surfboards were getting smaller. The large boards, the old mouths, were just about non-existent. The small boards started from a range of twin fins to single fins. They were a lot more harder to handle than the modern day boards. The modern day boards won't come in until the 80s, where they had an extra fin put on, which started the modern day boards that you're riding today. Back then they were very hard to handle. Single fin board was always very hard to take the drop and turn at the bottom. The manoeuvrability was very, very limited. Twin fins, well, they were a little bit looser and we used them in small surf, and they used to spin around a bit, but you couldn't use them in big surf. Some of the knee boarders had twin fins, but their boards were very small and had a lot more manoeuvrability. In the East Coast, the word was out, there's surf in Margaret River. All of the magazines were posting photographs of the Margaret River surf and the Western Australian surf. The whole of the east coast of Australia was getting very crowded at the time in the surf, and they wanted unsurfed waves. And I came from the southern coast, South Australia. Victorians had the same view. They all wanted to come west. But to come west, we had to come across the Nullarbor. In those days, it was unsealed. We started at a place called Penong, Cactus Beach, which was a surf break. Everyone from every state, including America, a lot of them came over in those days. We all met at Cactus Beach. It was the last surf break before Western Australia. Very good waves and plenty of big sharks. We all met there in the car park, and then we had to travel across the Nullarbor, which was not sealed, as I said. Corrugations and very hot. Many times the combis in front of us would just blow their motors. When we arrived to Margaret River, it was basically a new surf, the whole coastline. None of us had seen anything like it before in our lives. Waves being unsurfed, just no one to surf them. But it soon changed. Join me and the camera lens, how it was in Margaret River in the 1970s. There's surf in Margaret River. We all met at Cactus Beach, South Australia, to take on the Nullarbor. The combis that you saw, half of them never made it. And now we're at main break, Margaret River. To us it seemed very big, but there was bigger to come. The main break. Notice the vegetation in front, no fences, and just a cliff. Nice right-handers. Caves Road in the old van, 1973. And these are very big waves, as you can see. Single fin boards, leg ropes would snap all the time, and it was a long way to swim in. If you can't hold your breath, don't go out. Now we're at North Point. This is the first round of the state titles in 1973. They were going to have it at Margaret River Main Break, but it was a little bit too big and out of control, so they switched it to North Point. This is the pre surfing before the contest. You can see South Point in the background, and there's no, if you look at the hills in the background, the cliff face, there's no steps. So where you surfed at South Point, there's a South Point car park, on the hill, not very many houses. The main break at North Point, there again, no tracks at the back in South Point. Some very nice waves. When you're actually out there surfing it, it's a lot steeper than what it actually looks on the camera lens, and very shallow when you take off next to the point. So if you don't make it, you're in for a wash up onto the point, or at the best get bounced on the bottom. See the hills of Gracetown in the background, no houses. These surfers in the contest were some of the best in the state, and it was hard conditions to ride, but they made it look a little bit easier. Back at the main break, Margaret River. Small day, bit of fun.
Nice to watch the ships go by as they gauge the roads of our lives. Nice to see
Margaret River river mouth, always a bit of fun. Little right-handers and left-handers, but the banks change all the time there, so you can have a good day. And the river mouth, when the Margaret River opens up, usually get a sandbank, creates a little right-hander. A good fun way for everyone.
Nice to sit here and drink on the beach. We can stare at the nightline just within our reach. Just within our reach. You take my hand and trace the line.
Back at the Margaret River Point.
Shows all the good times. Keep 'em in your heart. Good times we've had and all the good times we've made, all the good times we've had, they're all gonna last. All the good times.
Notice on the point all the vegetation, climbing down the hill. There was a cliff you had to get down to get out to the water.
Keep it in your heart. Don't let 'em go. Keep 'em in your heart.
You're seeing a few lonesome surfers out there. One was Tony Hardy, Rob Keneally, and obviously I was filming. We all went to South Point and North Point at Racetown. When it's like these conditions, they're the best places to surf. Only the brave go out here. The big swim in. As I said earlier, the leg ropes are very small. Usually we got them from the East Coast and they weren't made for big conditions like this, so it was a long swim in, underwater or on top of the water. Not many people could help you. It's just you and the ocean. Here's looks like Tony Hardy on this one. He's always facing the wave, going to the right of your screen.
Keep 'em in your heart. Don't let 'em go. Keep 'em in your heart.
Days like this, I can remember Neil Innes, which you can just see coming in with half a board. I was out there with him this day, and I saw him paddle for the wave. I thought I'd get the next one, and that was the last I saw of him. Paul Loof, who was filming, got a picture of him coming in with half a board, so I'm glad I didn't take off on that wave. Rob Keneally was out on this day. I can remember most of the people out there, a few other locals. Most of the people were up on top of the beach. This is Three Bears, and we'll be looking towards the three breaks there. It's 3 in a row. This is 1974, and it was only a four-wheel drive track there then, so luckily I had a four-wheel drive and we were able to get there. But most people wouldn't be able to surf it because they couldn't get there unless they jumped on board with someone else. A long walk from Yallingup, of course. That's Yallingup Bay. This is again back to the main break, Margaret River. Taken from a different angle towards the river mouth, looking out from that direction. Again, poor old Neil, half aboard. And the rest of us out there enjoying themselves. The waves on this day, the wind was so strong it would pull your eyelids back and you're taken off blind. So it wasn't a nice finish if you didn't make it. Another day at South Point, North Point that one was. North Point this season. South Point in the distance there. A few shots of South Point now. In those days with a single fin, you had to, ride all the way through. It was a bit of fun. It wasn't a heavy wave. This is obviously back at Margaret River main break. How lucky we were to surf the waves of Margaret River in the 1970s. Hope you enjoyed it.